The microphone picks up the noises. It's very good at picking up the noises. It's a very sensitive microphone. It's picking up the noises of my mouth moving and saliva. ASMR. ASMR, drinking from a metal bottle, opening a metal bottle, drinking from the bottle, putting the lid back on the bottle, putting the bottle on the desk. ASMR. Salmon of knowledge, it's a 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 salmon of knowledge, salmon of knowledge podcast. Hey, salmon skins, welcome to another episode of Edwin's Salmon of Knowledge. What is the knowledge? What is happening? What do people know? People are confused. People are angry. People are sick of it. They're absolutely sick of the pandemic. Some people are sick from the pandemic, but lots of people are sick because of it. There's new government guidelines that have come in that are very confusing. The day after the government guidelines came in, a bunch of people were at a golf event, not separated. 80 people, politicians have resigned over it. People are angry. Which just seems to be a regular occurrence with the people in power. People are always just pissed off at them. It kind of feels like, personally, for me, I'm just kind of. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the pandemic, but I mean, just because I'm sick of it doesn't mean that it's going to end. I spoke before about how we can't see an ending, and we're living in the end of Return of the King, but it's perpetually just one scene after another, and you think it's going to end, but it doesn't, and you think all the orcs have gone, and then all of a sudden there's 200 cases of orcs spotted in Kildare, and that's probably the worst analogy I've ever done, but it kind of feels like I'm circling. I hope I'm not circling the drain. I hope I'm circling a nice roundabout that takes me to Barack Obama Plaza, the greatest plaza in the world. Although I think if people are expecting a plaza like you would have in Italy or some other Mediterranean country, it's not sunny. You can't sit outside. I mean, I suppose you can, but it's a car park. It's not really a plaza. It's just it's a petrol station with a shop and a Burger King inside and a Costa coffee. It's this kind of revolutionary idea that maybe would have been revolutionary in the early 2000s, where, can you imagine a petrol station? Now, stick a Burger King in there and a coffee shop and, your regular supermarket that you would have in a petrol station. Isn't that incredible? All these things in the same building. You've literally described a mini shopping centre, except you can get petrol or diesel, but you can't plug in your car because people don't have many electric cars. I'm going to be starting to learn how to drive, which is great because that's just going to be another expense that I can barely afford, as I can barely afford anything these days. I'd love to get The Last of Us 2 video game. I might ask Santa Claus for it for Christmas because he will be operating under the pandemic because, he is socially distant from everyone. He doesn't even come in the front door. He comes down the chimney. So make sure that you sanitize and wipe down all your chimneys this coming December 24th. If we even get there. Look, there's a lot of scandals going on. There's a lot of anger. There's in America, they're gearing up for this election to end all elections. Here's a scenario for you. The election happens and Donald Trump goes, I don't want these results. I don't like them. These are not tremendous results. I need better results. I need the greatest results we can possibly have. And his aides would be going, well, I don't think as many people voted for you as you would have liked or thought. That doesn't matter. It's fake. Everything is fake if I don't agree with it. And they'll go, okay, well, you're the winner, sir. And then what will happen is civil war. You're going to have Civil War II in America. Because, like there's been World War I, although it wasn't called World War I at the time, because they weren't that confident that people would enjoy it so much that they'd have to make a sequel years later. And then World War II, which was, terrible, but you got great movies out of it. World War II and the Vietnam War, definitely the best movies. Even though World War I, All Quiet on the Western Front, which was made into a movie that I never saw, I think it won an Oscar. I think it was like the second movie or third movie to win an Oscar back when the Oscars started. The first movie to win an Oscar, Wings, a documentary about Paul McCartney's best band. And then All Quiet on the Western Front. But yeah, World War II, Band of Brothers, great series. Pacific, good, not as great. Now I'm just talking about World War II. So yeah, we're going to have Civil War II in America. Civil War II, uncivil. I think that's what they're going for with the tagline. But that would be kind of crazy because, I mean, look, you have a lot of unrest happening. The Black Lives Matters protesters are still out in force, even though it's not being really reported. And, people are angry. I can't believe the Republican convention guests were that man and that woman who were outside their house with, he had like a big assault rifle and she had a like tiny little gun that she was pointing at people like your mother trying to work the remote control on a Blu-ray player. And look, I get it. They're complicated things, those Blu-ray controllers. And you get the menu pops up and, you just want to, you fast forward, but it's only doing it in frames. And like, how do you do the real fast forward? This is bloody annoying. So, guys, we're going to take a short little break and we're going to be back after these messages. Do you love ham? Do you love lavender? Well, try Cadogan's Lavender Infused Hams, the ham that helps you sleep. We use only the freshest ham and the choicest cuts of lavender, roasted for 4 hours in a large, medium-sized oven. Lavender-infused hams, once eaten, will gently soothe you off to sleep. Hams come in a variety of sizes. Pick the right ham for your lifestyle needs. Cadogan's Lavender-infused hams, available now. And we're back. Guys, a while ago I had a guest on the podcast, a famous guest who was joining me from lockdown. And according to my analytics on my hosting page, it was one of the most popular episodes. So for some reason, this particular guest seems to be still quite the draw. But it's no surprise, as he was 1/3 of one of the best-selling acts of all time, musical acts of all time. Him and his two brothers, the Gibbs. And now he is a solo BG. Of course, you all know who I'm talking about. It's Barry Gibb. And Barry is back on the podcast, joining us now from Los Angeles. Can you hear me, Mr. Gibb?
Yes, I can, Ed. Great to hear you again.
Hello, Barry. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm very well. Just the weather here is fantastic.
You're not in danger of any wildfires going on?
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, I thought it was just smelly fog.
No, there's a number of wildfires happening. I mean, look, it's 2020, and this is par for the course, really.
Oh no, the golf course hasn't been affected.
No, I'm talking about just how much of a shit show this year has been, and it's like fuel to the fire in this case. Actual fire.
Well, I mean, I suppose in a way you have to take stock. And maybe God is taking stock right now. And he's saying, oh, I think there's far too much forest going on. I'm going to have to get rid of some of them forests. Well, what am I going to do so people don't think it's me?
You're saying God has lit these fires?
Well, I'm saying for some people, God is angry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had him on the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's quite the coup. It must have been.
Yeah. I know. I was very surprised.
Must have been a shock. Did you invite him on?
Yeah. No, I didn't invite him on. Well, I invited him by invoking God, by just asking was he there, and it worked. And I was.
Well, I've been doing that for years, and it's never happened.
Yeah, I know. I mean, lots of people have been. People pray to him all the time. People genuinely believe in him. And I was like a bit of an atheist, and now I'm just an agnostic.
So, after talking to God, you've gone from being an atheist to an agnostic.
Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like I'm not going to become a true believer, but to be honest, Barry, I think I bottled the interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just.
What happened?
Well, Barry, can I call you Barry?
Please call me Barry Gibb.
Okay, Barry Gibb. Well, Barry Gibb, I was going to ask him about, hey, God, what the fuck's going on here? What's with this pandemic? Is it fair that we're all being punished like this while 80 people go to a golf dinner?
Oh, yes, I heard about that. That was shocking stuff.
I know, and I asked him about duck-billed platypuses.
Platypi?
Platypuses.
Platypi?
No, not platypi. It's platypuses. Platypuses?
Platypuses sounds too close to platypushes.
Well, I mean, that would be the female duck-billed platypus when you're describing their reproductive region.
The reproductive region of a duck-billed platypus. A platypushy. And a platypenis.
I don't think those are the terms that you would use.
Well, it makes perfect sense to me. If one's got you wouldn't say duck-billed platyvagina or platypenis. Well, for the alliteration.
Why am I now talking about platypuses again with you, Barry Gibb?
Well, I don't know. You're the one you called me, Ed. If you want to ask me any questions about the Bee Gees, all the songs we did over the years.
Yeah, was that song I Started a Joke?
Oh, yes, that was one of Robin's favourites. He loved to sing that live. I started a joke, which started the whole world laughing. I do it now, but I don't do as much justice to it as he did. It just, and of course, it makes me sad to think of poor Robin.
So, look, when was the last time you actually gigged, Barry?
Oh God, a long time ago. I can't even remember. I was gigging so much that one gig kind of bled into the other, and I sing around the house. I sing. Not Bee Gees songs, but I like to sing Lady Gaga.
You like Lady Gaga?
Oh, I love Lady Gaga. Can't read my poker face. We don't love nobody. Can't read my poker face.
So, Barry, apart from trying to classify what duck-billed platypuses...
Platypi.
Okay, platypi genitals are called. What have you been up to?
Well, Ed, not much really. I mean, look, I've got a big mansion here. Fernando is here, Consuela, my man-servant and woman-servant.
Man-servant and woman-servant, that's a bit sort of... It's a bit of an old hat kind of terminology for your... I mean, they serve you, but it kind of makes it sound like they feed you grapes while you lie on a big couch.
Oh yes, they feed me grapes, they feed me lobster, They feed me whatever I want, really.
Of course, you come from an era of, when record sales were record sales.
Oh, yes, it's very hard these days. I mean, I know I've seen Van Morrison talking about shaving live music. And I thought, Van's doing okay for himself.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, like, he's speaking up for your acts who would play festivals, who wouldn't really make their money from record sales these days, because, I mean, like, very few people buy records compared to years ago.
Oh, yes. I mean, getting a platinum record these days is very, very hard, unless you're someone like Adele, who transcends all demographics. Everyone loves Adele.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or Wakefield.
Wakefield?
Yes, you remember Saturday night? Saturday night, and here it's getting high. Pretty baby, I wonder now I'm gonna take you to the sky. Come on, baby.
Yeah,
Come on, Ed.
Okay, yeah.
Saturday night, and they like the way you move. Move it, baby. Get some vodka and get into the groove. Come on, baby.
All right, that's enough of that.
Saturday night is better than you. Have the Sunday to get over all your hangover when you are drinking for the Saturday night. Oh, God. I've run out of breath there.
Thank fuck for that.
God, it's hard sometimes when you haven't been training and you haven't been singing that much. It's very hard.
I was actually talking to... I don't know if you've ever met Sir Sean Connery.
Oh, Shawnee.
Oh, you know Sean, yeah?
No.
You call him Shawnee there.
Yeah, that's just my nickname for him.
Your nickname for someone you're not really friends with?
Well, I mean, he's been on our screens over the years for so long, I kind of feel that I already know him, deep down inside.
Yeah, but you don't know him.
Yes, but, people assume that they know me. They think, Barry, he's got a beard, he's got a high-pitched voice when he sings. He's from Manchester. Bee Gees, Staying Alive. That's him.
Yeah, but, if someone didn't know you and they called you Bazza.
Oh, yes, I suppose I would be a bit, I'd be like, wait a minute. Do I know you? Why are you calling me Bazza?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. You wouldn't call him Sean Connery Shawnee.
Well, I met him once.
You met him once?
Yeah, we got on okay. It was at one of Sir Michael Caine's house parties.
All right, yeah, because himself and Michael Caine are good mates. Of course, Michael Caine is still acting, but Sean, it's his 90th birthday today, the day we're recording this, 25th of August.
It's Shawnee's birthday?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's great. Great that he's still kicking it. What's he up to these days?
He's on a boat floating around the ocean.
Oh, that's the dream. He's living the dream, Shawnee. I do a great impression of him, actually.
You do an impression of Sean Connery? I mean, look, everyone does an impression of Sean Connery.
Do you?
Kind of. Yeah, it's pretty good. I used to have a stand-up bit about Sean Connery.
What's the bit?
I'm not going to redo it now.
Why not? What are you going to do? Do a gig somewhere?
Yeah, I suppose it's a good point. Well, basically, okay, here's the bit. Okay, well, give me your impression of Sean Connery first.
No, you do your bit, and then I'll do my impression of Sean.
Okay, all right, it's a compromise. Okay, so Sean Connery, I mean, for me, I think he's definitely one of the greatest actors that ever lived, if not the greatest actor that ever lived.
Because, oh, yes, absolutely. I totally agree there. Just wonderful screen presence. Just a big, sexy, masculine man.
Yeah, but I'm in the middle of the joke here.
Oh, sorry, yes, of course, sorry. I thought you were just talking generally about Sean. Very good. You've got a very conversational style of comedy.
Yeah, it's conversational, but it's like a one-way conversation. So, you don't pretend you're the audience and just don't say anything.
So don't laugh.
No, you can laugh, but just don't interrupt when I'm in the middle of the thing. I mean, have you ever been to a stand-up gig?
I've seen Live at the Apollo.
You were in the audience?
I've seen it on TV.
So you've never been to a stand-up gig?
Not per se, no.
Yeah, just, you can laugh, but just do it at the appropriate time.
When will I know when it's appropriate?
You'll know, all right? You have humour, yes?
What are you doing? You're talking to me like I'm an alien now. Of course I have humour. I've got a funny bone. I fractured it 3 times watching an audience with Cilla Black.
Is she funny?
She can be.
That wasn't a stand-up gig, though, was it?
No, but she was doing a singing show, and she was telling stories in between the songs, and some of them were ruddy hilarious.
Okay, well, I'll try to be as funny as Cilla Black. Oh, God rest you. Yeah, rest in peace, Cilla. So, as I was saying, Sean Connery is, without a doubt, the greatest actor that ever lived, to my mind.
Sure is.
And I mean, it's proof. Oh, God, I can't do it now. I fucked it up.
No, come on, you got the flow.
Yeah, but you just don't say anything, all right? Don't laugh. Laugh if you want to, but just don't. Okay, I'm going to try to get in the zone again.
All right, I'm unclear as to what you want from me.
Just don't say anything.
Can I heckle?
No.
What do you mean?
You can't heckle.
But that's part of it. That's part of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's the fucking worst part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, like, some audience members think that comedians want hecklers. Like, they expect it. Even though we've spent, years honing our craft, working on our bits, shaving all the words down so you have minimum words for maximum effect. That's the art of comedy. Getting your point across as succinctly and quickly as possible.
So basically the opposite to what's happening now.
Yeah, the opposite to what's happening now. Look, see, I used to do this bit for years, okay, and I won't do the bit now, all right?
Oh, come on, Ed, do the bit.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it at an actual stand-up gig. My next gig, I'll do it. It's an old bit. I've been doing it for years. I kind of retired it when I did a show a couple of years ago called Edwin Salmon versus Cancer, which is a show about me going through cancer.
Oh, Jesus, that's terrible.
Yeah. I'm fine now.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, thanks, Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees.
No problem.
Yeah. So I did this bit about Sean Connery being the greatest actor because he's convinced us all that he's various nationalities from around the world without ever once changing his accent.
Oh, yes. That's very true.
Yeah, that's because the basis of the bit is in truth. And then I just do him, in Highlander being a Spanish immortal with a Scottish accent, helping a Scottish man with a French accent. And his greatest role being The Hunt for Red October, where he plays a Russian submarine commander.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
And then I kind of stopped doing the bit. Well, not stopped doing it, but I remember Stuart Francis, who is a Canadian kind of one-liner comedian.
Oh, yes, Stuart Francis. I saw him at Live at the Apollo.
The TV show.
Yes, the TV show. He's very good.
Yeah, he's very good. And I was chatting to him backstage at the Vodafone Comedy Festival in the Ivy Gardens a couple of years ago. And he's since retired, but he was like, I don't know, he started when he was 30, because we had that in common, just talking about it. And he gave me all these drinks vouchers for the weekend because he was going back the next day. And he was just trying to remember his set, basically, pacing up and down backstage.
Oh, yes, because he's got all those one-liners. It must be hard to keep him in his head.
Yeah, exactly. And, which is fair enough. There's a lot of material to, it's like 40 minutes, I think was the length of the gig. And then he ended it, or towards the end of the gig, he did this bit about Sean Connery and accents and how no one ever questions the fact that he's got a Scottish accent. And I was there with my friend Kevin, and we kind of looked at each other, and he was like, he's doing your bit. And I was like, oh, well, it's the same premise. He takes it in a different direction, because in my version of the joke, it ends with 2 Russian submarine on the submarine in Hunt for Red October. There's 2 Russian crew members. Well, I say seamen because it sounds like...
Oh, it sounds like spunk.
Yes, exactly.
And, oh, very good, shemen. The boat's covered in shemen.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the joke. Just goes to show how good a bit it was.
Oh, no, that's very funny. I find that very funny.
Okay, good. Thank you, Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees.
No problem.
So, yeah, my bit ended with two Russian seamen talking about how they notice his accent is a bit weird and it's like, starting a mutiny and all this kind of stuff. And Stuart Francis had a similar one, and I was like, well, Stuart Francis is much more famous and established and successful than me, so does he get the joke? Or, because there is that thing with plagiarism in I don't know if you get it in music.
Oh, yes, it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes people get sued for stealing songs or stealing the tune of a song.
Has that ever happened with any of the Bee Gees stuff?
No, not really. We've never had that. Of course, when we started out and we got very successful, there was a plethora. There was a glut of singers who sang in a very high-pitched voice, and some of them they'd never sung before, or some of them had a few records out, but the records didn't do well. Then all of a sudden you just hear everywhere, everyone singing high voice. It was like Alvin and the Chipmunks had reformed and become popular.
Did the makers of Alvin and the Chipmunks ever look to sue the Bee Gees for stealing their signature sound?
No, they didn't have a sound. It was more of a drone. It was more of a high-pitched drone. And they were singing old classics. And that stuff's from the 50s. That's very, very old hat.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's like a novelty record.
Exactly. It's not real tunes. But no one ever sued us. But plagiarism in comedy would be, it'd be very, very hard.
And can you give me your Sean Connery impression now?
Oh, yes, here's my Sean Connery impression. Here he is, a super spy, James Bond. Give me a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Blofeld, I can't believe you're going to do that.
Yeah, that's not really a famous...
Stop that, Blofeld. Stop. James Bond is my name. I'm going to shoot you with my gun.
No, you sound like Brian Blessed having a shit now.
What are you talking about? I'm James Bond, 007. Pussy galore.
You're just saying shit now.
James Bond. This is not right. For Queen and country.
Okay, thanks, Barry. So, Barry, we didn't really get to talk about what you're up to, what's happening. But I'm afraid that's all I have time for.
That's all you have time for? But it's a podcast. You're not live on the radio.
Yeah, I've got to go now. I've got other stuff to do. I've got to make some vegan ice cream.
Vegan ice cream? That doesn't sound nice.
I know. Well, I'll put some chocolate chips in there. At least it'll have that.
Well, it could be nice.
Yeah, apparently you make it with a sweet potato. You bake a sweet potato and then you put it in a blender.
Sweet potato ice cream?
I know. Look, I'll let you know how it goes. You'll come back on again. We'll talk about more stuff.
Sure, Ed. I'd love to come on again. I'm not really doing anything. I'm going to get Fernando and Consuela to go to the shops for me.
So you don't really go out that much?
No, I've got a cocoon.
And what are you doing while you're cocooning?
I'm watching the movie Cocoon.
Oh, with Wilford Brimley.
Yes, who sadly passed away.
Yeah, it's a shame. He was great in The Thing. I love when he freaks out in The Thing.
Oh yes, his freak out scene in The Thing is just it's a wonderful scene, very unexpected.
Yeah, and he's the kind of man who looked like he was 64 for like 30 years, essentially.
Yes, he always had that old man look. He never got any young sexy parts.
And so he's unfortunately passed away.
I met him once.
You met him once? Was that the same party you met Sean Connery?
Yeah, me, him and Sean were over in the corner like a bunch of crazy boys. Like a bunch of wild boys. Singing in the corner with Sean and Wilford.
Well, that's a wonderful image to go out on. Barry, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Ed, on the podcast.
Yeah, it's been great. I guess I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself and good luck.
Good luck, Ed. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye. Hanging up the phone. hanging off the phone.
Oh, and he's gone. I guess that's how he says goodbye. Guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. Please take care of yourselves and others. Be considerate, be kind, be strong, be yourself in spite of all the danger. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Take care and goodbye now. See you later, and I'm gone. Bye.